Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. I'm in Norwich, Connecticut, Norwich Town section. And I am now on West Town Street. It's a little tricky to get off of some of the streets leading onto West Town Street due to the traffic in this particular area. This is another experiment. I've been doing these frequently for the past week or two. This one is shot. I like to shoot in 4K. Unfortunately, my camera can't do 4K in this particular setup that I have. This is, a pretty radical departure from my normal setup. I mean, I have the camera mounted dead center on the front of the hood of my car, exposed to the elements, but I'm shooting in 4:3. I was wrong the other day. When I said I was using the whole sensor with wide and super wide, they actually do a crop in camera, so it didn't use the whole sensor. This is 4:3. I won't upload to YouTube in 4:3. I will crop it when I edit this video. So the cropping, I can either crop it. I have a little more leeway to go up or down on the cropping, the higher or lower. This will be maximum width, or at least for this particular camera. The brand new ones, I probably could shoot 4K or even higher, 5.3. Some of them are 8K. It's ridiculous. 4 is all I need. But they can, I believe, do 4:3 in wide or super wide at 4K. So that's, my particular camera cannot do that. So I'm going to have to crop this by myself. When I edit, I make a decision on how it's going to appear. I've never done that. I've always had the camera do it. The more I research this, certain aspect ratios and all this stuff, it's kind of a, you get into a, it's almost like a never-ending. Let me figure out where to go here. I think I'll take a right. It's a wormhole. You keep going and going and going and going. There's a million different things you can do. I mean, I know what I like, but I've always wanted to try some of these, things that I'm doing right now, these experiments, these different ratios, aspect ratios. But the fact that I'm using the entire sensor, even though it's 2.7K, which is, believe me, that's high definition. I mean, 4K is extremely high definition. But it's just going to be, in theory, my videos are crystal clear anyways. I mean, I'm shooting 4K. I mean, they should be, incredibly crystal clear if you have a decent screen that you're watching it on. This, a little bit less so, but most people don't have 4K TVs, or maybe the new iPads. I don't know if the new iPads have full-blown 4K. They probably have a little less. And there's all kind of reasons for that. But, okay, I'm going to work my way down the road here. Well, I got to stop. I'm kind of glad I'm the first one, so we can get a look at what cars going by, how that wide effect, 60 frames per second. If I wanted to do 4K in this, I would have to do 30 frames per second, which when driving, by the way, this is going to be an incredibly technical video, so if you don't like that type, you can just turn the volume off and watch the riding around if you want. But it's up to you. You're in control. If I wanted to do 4K at 4:3 at 60 frames per second, it would be, I couldn't do 60 frames per second. I have to do 30 frames per second. So when I'm driving, I find that 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second, which is usually what TV uses. Cinema is 24 frames per second. TV is 30. So I could do 30, but whenever there's, I'm driving and there's tons of motion, information coming through the lens into the sensor, I don't like the effect of it. It looks weird because I can't get too technical here, but there's certain rules. If I shoot 30 frames per second, my shutter speed has to be, in theory, 60 frames per second. But these cameras, the shutter speed will be in the it'll be like 3,000 or 2,000 frames per second or 1,500 or whatever very high number because it's very bright out. So in order for me to make that work, I would have to use a ND, neutral density filter, which I would put over the lens of this thing, which is a dark piece of glass that lets in much less light. So that would allow me to shoot at 60 frames per second. Or no, I'm sorry, my shutter speed would be 60, 1/60th of a second, and my frames per second would be 30. Again, extremely technical stuff. And Chelsea Parade is directly in front of us. Another light, so we can get somebody's cars going by. I'm first in line. Not a lot of traffic. I don't know if I need my signal here, but I mean, I always use my signal, but this is kind of a one lane, has to turn, so just for safekeeping, we'll do it. But I am definitely in jeopardy of losing or having this camera shut down from overheating because I am truly using the full sensor, which overheats. It can cause overheating. Although it is cooler today, I think. It's in the low 80s as opposed to being 90, low 90s, so that's better. There's clouds. I like that. Just for visuals, that's better. So am I picking up the whole church there? I hope so. It depends on how I crop. You're not going to see. If I uploaded it in 4:3, which I'm shooting in, there would be bars. There would be like black bars on the sides of the video on YouTube, and I don't want that. Another thing I wanted to mention, I mentioned copyright violations in audio, and with me talking, I'm less likely to get that. And some people were wondering, okay, well, suppose I'm driving around and I'm parked directly next to a guy at a stoplight and there's, some Led Zeppelin song playing that there's no way I have the copyrights to use that. When I talk, or this narration that I'm doing as I'm going down Union Street, the talking, if I'm talking over the music, it's much less likely because of the location of the microphone and the prominence of the verbal, the audio, as opposed to the background Led Zeppelin song that's playing. I'm much less I don't run into any problems with that. Now, I did some videos, and for audio, I was recording ambient sound. Me driving around, recording, not talking, and just with microphones located outside the vehicle, recording stereo ambient sound. That, you get copyright violations. I mean, that'll pick music up from all over the place. And I'm going to go around the roundabout again just to test this thing. Maybe I'll go head over to the east side. I'll do a full circle. Man, blinking red light again. Got to be super, super careful around here. This one particular spot. Okay. Let's go around that roundabout. I'll head over to the east side. I'll try to do some different stuff for my testing. But the audio, yeah, ambient audio, I kind of like it. If I could do ambient audio, I wouldn't be talking. It would just be a car driving like I'm doing now. People kind of watch me going around in a circle. Me driving the car, but it's picking up all natural audio from outside. Maybe, cars going by me, people talking on the side of the street. Anything, I could go by a work site down here. For example, on the right is the YMCA being rehabbed into a different, for different use, offices and restaurants, whatever they're going to do. You would pick up all that audio. It's really kind of cool, but you run into so many copyright violations because people in their cars play music pretty loud. I mean, it's pretty common, and it picks everything up, and it just, you can't upload the video. So I'm going over to the east side right now. And the camera's still operating, I think, it appears to be, at 4:3 at 2.7K. So it should be crystal clear, but on most screens. But I have to crop it in post, so that's going to be interesting. Whatever you're seeing now, I mean, if I actually publish this thing, is going to be cropped manually. I've never done that. Road closed. Wow, that's pretty big time road to close right there. Something's going on. It must be major road work or something. Bishop School is up there. I don't know. Obviously, I mean, I have no clue what's going on up there. I can't see that far past the signs that say road closed. I can't see far enough up there, but it's shut down for what I would assume is a very good reason. But that explains the audio. Now, it's not perfect. I could be talking, park right next to a guy, he's blasting out, some great Led Zeppelin greatest hits, AC/DC. There's certain bands that you will be nailed in a New York minute if you Zeppelin and AC/DC, certain band, Metallica, whatever. It's not, 1 nanosecond of it is not going on YouTube. I don't know, some of them, there's some that give you a certain amount of seconds. You can use, I don't know all the intricacies of that, but you can use, say, 9 seconds of a song. I don't know how that works. I really, seriously, no clue, but I believe there's some rule, but not with all bands. I mean, Zeppelin, AC/DC, I don't know, Metallica, Nirvana, whoever. It ain't happening. It's just not gonna, the video's not getting up there. 1 note and it's down. They have algorithms that detect it as I drive up Hamilton Avenue, and the algorithm just denied. Can't upload the video. So me talking is the best bet. It's the cars, the windows are closed. The sound is muffled if I'm parked next to somebody that's cranking up the music. And it's muffled, so me talking overrides that. So that's the reason for most of the narration. Now, I would love to do ambient sound. There's some guy, if you want to see some mind-blowing driving around videos, there's a guy on YouTube right now, I don't know, guy, woman, man, I have no idea. They don't give a lot of info, but they have, 850,000 subscribers. And they do multi, 6-hour drives, but all over the world. This person's name is J, the letter J, separate word, Utah, like the state. J, Utah. That person, or I would assume persons, because you can't be all over the world that often. I'm on 8th Street in Greenville. Man, more road work. I'll figure out how to get out of this jam. But wow, I'm over the canal right now at I don't know. This is the 8th Street Bridge or whatever it's called, but that thing is bone dry. I mean, it's just a little water. You could walk across the canal right now. So we're in a drought. We need rain. I've never seen it that low, personally. I mean, maybe I've never been over in this area at this time, but man, I feel like kind of, if I could get down there and walk around, that would be, oh man, I got too many video projects in my brain. This guy is, they're directing traffic, so we're being waved through a red light. So if people think I'm going through a red light, I'm really not. All right, let me take a left here. Big time work being done in Norwich today on the roads. I'm on North Main Street now. Well, I wanted to do more of the east side just to get a different look at things. You know, different section of town. I don't want to keep going over the same areas over and over and over again, but all right, let me go up 3rd Street. But that's the audio situation that I was talking about, and the video situation is experimental. All right, good clouds. That's exactly what we're looking for as we cruise down dead center Central Avenue in the Greenville section of Norwich. I did Taffville. Yeah, so it really doesn't matter. This is all, I mean, this is kind of, people, I fully understand. If people don't want to watch these are for, purposes of checking out all my options with this particular camera. I'm going to upgrade soon. It's been a long time. I mean, this camera, I'll keep it for, I could do 2 cameras on the car. I mean, I don't know if I want to get that off the wall. I mean, I've seen it. It's pretty cool because you can cut between, you can have one camera pointing directly to your right, for example. The other one pointing straight. You can cut between, let me go up Howard Street. You can cut between the 2 views seamlessly. And it's kind of a nice, it gives you better coverage of a particular area. If I drove through the campus of NFA, for example, I could give you better coverage. Now, if I take a right, and just let me glance up there. No, I don't want to do that. That's where Greenville School, because I'm going to have to turn around. Whoa, big trucks and everything coming up here. Hauling dirt and things up to that new future Greenville School. I don't know why it's all wet over here. They must have released, that's coming from the work site, so I don't know I don't know the reason for that, but I'm on Golden Street, so if I went in the opposite direction, I would hit that Greenville School site, work site. That's going to be a brand new, I saw the mock-ups and the drawings and what it's going to look like upon completion. You can take a right onto Oak Ridge Street, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I can't wait till I finish it. When they do, I'll do a walk around. We'll take a slow cruise up Oak Ridge Street in 4:3 aspect ratio at 2.7K. It's a very, very steep hill right here. This is one of the steepest hills in Norwich, right here. I mean, when I say steep, I'm going like, this is like Mount Washington level stuff here we're talking. As brief as it may be, it's, you know, I'd like to know the angle. I'd love to know the percentage of that. Okay, let me see here. This brings me back to Boswell. What happens if I go on Joseph Street? This could bring me over to... Okay, there's Division Street. I don't know. Can I go straight? I am not sure if this thing actually is somebody's driveway. No, there's a road down there. I have no clue. I've never been down here. I mean, not that I can recall. I mean, this could end. This could be somebody's house or something. It ends. I've never been up here. Well, I gotta get out. Definitely private property. I mean, they should, I would assume, indicating a one-way street up there would be kind of a smart move, but I inadvertently got footage of a street that I've never gotten before. I gotta be real careful. There's little tiny kids playing out here, and I don't want to. I mean, I am being super careful. As I look at my camera. Hopefully nobody's coming in the opposite direction. I think I can take a left on Division. Good. Well, we did get some wide footage to play around with there and in the editing process in post, so we'll have some fun with that. Where exactly Division Street? All right, this brings me down to where, yeah, Lubensky's. Okay. Hear that music? That could be a copyright violation. I mean, it's in the, you guys probably didn't hear it very well, but I certainly did. I'm very aware of it because I've been bounced off many, many times for copyright violations. YouTube is, you know, to me, much more sensitive in the past, I would say 6 months, to copyright violations. And I mean big time change, just really heading down Boswell Avenue. Just you know, that's why I'm overly sensitive to music in cars and, you know, stuff I don't even know what it is. I mean, it's like a lot of, I don't know if it's more road work down here. I don't know if the music is, you know, electronic techno stuff, whatever it is. It's popular with, you know, today's younger crowd. That's fine. But I'm not, it's not from my, you know, classic era of music that I love to follow. And that would be mainly from the 70s. I'd like to go straight. I'm just going to have to wait it out. Somebody's making a delivery. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nobody behind me, so I can wait all day. Whoa, there's a dog. Maybe I'll get that on video. Dog attacks delivery guy. I don't want that video, trust me. That's the last video in the world I want. I mean, you know, somebody wants a viral video, I guess it's, if something happens and you happen to grab it on video, I mean, something like that would, dog attacks man would definitely go viral. But I don't want that to happen, so. And it's getting darker. I don't think it's supposed to rain today, but I mean, I took a glance at the forecast, didn't say rain, but you never know. St. Pat's Cathedral on the right. I'm going to take a ride up Elmwood Avenue. Another steep hill. Norwich has got a lot of hills in certain areas. There's no question about that. Other areas are very flat. East Great Plains, very flat. Take a right down Cedar Street. Buckingham School used to be right there, too, slightly to the left. That was Buckingham School. They raised it. It's gone. They did that several years ago. So if you happen to have attended Buckingham School and you're wondering what it looks, you know, like today, it doesn't look like anything. It's 100% erased from the planet. I mean, the guys that did the demolition, they didn't leave a trace. I'm on Broad Street. I'm going to take a ride onto Washington momentarily, absorbing more footage. I mean, it is overcast. If it does rain, I'll shut the video down instantly. I don't want that to happen, obviously. I mean, my camera, I can't see the light on it. It's the LCD's on, so that tells me that it's recording. A tip for people that have problems sometimes with cameras and they overheat. This is what I do every time before I go out. I take the memory card. On these cameras, they can be micro SD cards. More technical talk here. You take your card, either, you know, probably a micro SD card. You put that, you connect it to your computer, either through a separate device. My computer has I can just plug it right into the body of the thing with an adapter, just a little card. So I slip the card in, and I have a Mac. Okay, so Windows will be different, but you can do the same procedure. As I wait to get off, okay, got a motorcycle here, is turning, okay. You take I'll tell you what I do, and it's 100% flawless. take the micro SD card, I slide it into my computer, into my Mac. I open something called Disk Utility. I then erase, through Disk Utility, I erase the card that way. It just completely obliterates everything on there. I'm going to take a left onto Asylum Street. Sometimes if you erase it in the camera, believe it or not, it doesn't do a perfect job. Windows, I don't know, they would have their own, Disk Utility in Mac. Windows, I don't know what it would be. It would be some form of, utility or app or whatever they have that would erase the card. Western Avenue on my right, Asylum Street Pizza's been there for decades. On my left, as I drive down Asylum Street. But if you ever had problems with the card, like you'll be recording, all of a sudden it'll just stop recording. It's incredibly frustrating. I went through that a few years ago. I started doing this, I've never had a problem. Completely erase it with your computer, and then when you put it back in the camera, okay, this is extremely important. I can't forget to mention this. Then go into the camera and erase it again with the camera. All cameras do different formats depending on the brand, but you format or erase or whatever it says. A lot of times it'll say format card. Do it again in the camera. You're doing it twice, but when you do it in the camera, I don't know if it's throwing a little file on there or doing something to make it perfectly readable, so you won't have any problems with the camera not reading certain segments of the card and just basically stops recording. It's happened. It's a drag. It's a major buzzkill because you'll be doing this video and everything. Oh my God, I got incredible footage. You get home, you get 7 minutes of footage for an hour video. Less than thrilling. My technique, it's not my technique. I'm sure other people do it, but it's something I discovered that works beautifully. I'm going to take a right onto West Main. There's a lot of traffic right now. What time is it? 2:51 p.m. on a Wednesday. I can go right on red, but not if there's 100 cars coming. Of course, I always have the option of waiting for a green light. That's pretty much 100% guarantee I'll be okay. Let me creep up here a little bit. Nope. We still got a lot of cars coming. Okay, wait a minute. I might have an opening here. I'll take it. All right, so now I'm between, if there's oncoming traffic, I'm in kind of a tight space here. Cars to the right, car in front of me, cars coming to the left. So this is kind of a good wide aspect ratio scene, again, for testing purposes. Yeah, I don't like turning there. That can be tricky. It's 2 lanes. You don't have a good view. $87 degrees. My car says 88. The bank says 87. So it's, it's definitely warm out. It's supposed to be real humid. I don't see a lot of wind. Very slight breeze. I see a few flags. flapping, but nothing. It's not. It's probably a comfortable breeze. So now there's music to the right of me. Let me talk over it. That gives me much better chance of not getting a copyright violation. The copyright violations are completely inadvertent. I mean, if somebody, makes a video and they specifically add, not knowing, they add a song, let's say, Led Zeppelin or AC/DC, the bands that are real hardcore about not using their stuff. And there's tons of them. I'm just, throwing off a couple names, but whoa, that guy. Okay, I gotta be real focused here on oncoming traffic. This light has an arrow, but it's very short. There's just a lot of traffic today on West Main Street, no doubt about it. I think I can make it. Turn on to Dunham Street. But if somebody, random guy at the front of his computer or her computer, and uploads, I made a great video and I got a soundtrack. I'm using Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. It's not going to work. They're doing it on purpose. Mine, I'm just driving around and guys drive by me and they still nail you. So it's a thing. There's tons and tons of videos, guys talking about how to avoid these copyright violations. And there's really not a lot you can do. I mean, there's certain people that have ideas, but there's no way you just can't hack the system. It's not going to work. Not with YouTube. They're too big an entity. They have, tremendous power, AI, and algorithms that look at every aspect of the video. I've actually had I had videos up of a live recording I did in a small nightclub. It was up for 24 hours, and I got a violation on that. So this is just a live band. It was, I don't want to mention names or anything, but their manager, this isn't, national, it's not a local band, it's a globally touring artist, let's put it that way. But their manager had me, turn it real slow here. Their manager I was given a choice by YouTube. I could take down, I think it was 4 videos or whatever. It was a decent amount of this person performing. Absolutely phenomenal show. And I was right smack, beautiful video. I was thrilled about it. Great sound. Everything was as good as I could possibly imagine. My choices were take down the video or your entire channel gets shut down permanently. Those were my choices. Obviously, I got rid of the videos and instantaneously. I was like freaking out. All the work I put into, for example, these driving videos, a bunch of other videos I got up there, would be erased in one fell swoop. And it wouldn't be a thing I could do about it. Unless I don't mind maybe opening another account and re-uploading, I don't know, 1,000 videos. It's hard. I mean, you have to, the uploading takes a while. Then you have to put in all the text and all it. Forget about it. There's no way. I mean, that'd be a crushing blow for sure. I am on West Thames Street. And my camera appears to be, I mean, again, I'm not sure it's recording, but it's on at the back of the LCD is visible. That's a good sign. I've had situations where the back of the LCD was visible for the entire time I got home, and I recorded 1 minute and 30 seconds of video for, what should have been an hour video. Wow, they're still doing that paving up here. I'm going to turn right just so I can get out of this. There's a lot of road work up there in Montville. I mean, it's so low. There's a pond to the right of me. I don't know the name of it, but it's no longer a pond. It's just it's all overgrown with, I don't know, certain weeds or whatever they are, and there's a little trickle of a stream going through that what normally is a full-size pond. I mean, years ago people, well, I don't know about years ago, when it's a pond, people fish there. People used to skate there. I don't know if they still do that. You don't see a lot of skating on ponds anymore. That's kind of at least around Norwich. Norwich used to have Ford's Pond. I'm driving through the golf course right now. Left and right is Norwich Golf Course. Although there is a skating rink, an indoor skating rink coming up here on the left. That's still operational. Malerba's golf driving range back there. Very successful. So I think I got a decent amount of footage. I mean, I'm going to head back to Norwich town. I'll try to end the video where I began, at least in the general vicinity. Let's put it that way. And then I'll go home. It's 3:01 p.m. right now. Then I'll go home and edit, crop, and do whatever. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. This is a first for me, this 4:3 aspect ratio. Wow, beautiful looking, majestic clouds up ahead there. I think I'm going to work my way back. I'm going to go up Pine Street. All right, we got a green light. For some reason, we're stopping. That's kind of unusual to stop at a green light, especially here. Okay, that guy was in the wrong lane. Happens to everybody. East Great Plains Volunteer Fire Department to the right. Pine Street, right here. We are now on Pine Street with that wide 2.7K 4.3 aspect ratio video. And Pine Street was paved, beautifully paved, freshly paved, I would say 2 or 3 years ago. And it's still silky smooth. It's still absolute silk. and fun to drive over. Although you got to take your time. I mean, this is not a, this is a 25 mile per hour situation. Let me take a left onto Maple Street. There's Jack's Brick Oven Pizzeria right in front of us, those guys. Man, they put out some good food. People that run that place are really, really nice. Very friendly when you go in there. They treat you like gold. As we drive up the freshly paved Maple Street. This brings me over to Asylum. Yeah, so I'll go Asylum in the opposite direction. So the new camera, assuming I had, there's a, again, new model coming out in September. There's a lot of rumors. You get these rumor sites on the web. Many of them accurate. They have, really good track records of kind of telling you what's the specs are of certain cameras and electronics and everything. This YouTube channel is dedicated to nothing but rumors for specific brands like Sony cameras. There's people out there with rumor channels. A lot of competition for that. But the rumor on the camera that I'm looking at for September is a larger sensor. As I try to get out onto Asylum Street without getting destroyed. Okay, that's kind of glad I made that. A larger sensor. What does a larger sensor in a camera like this mean? Well, the most important thing is a higher dynamic range. To me, that would be really welcome news if that's the case. Higher dynamic range is the difference between the darkest part of the scene and the lightest part of the scene. Having the ability to remain in the frame. If it's, for example, the sky that you see in front of you right now is lighter than the trees on the left part of the screen that you see. Some cameras, older cameras, or sometimes even the most modern camera, unless you get some Hollywood, $200,000 cinema camera, even those will struggle with certain situations. The brightness of the sky will be what is called blown out. In other words, there'll be no information on the video except white pixels. You'll see nothing but white. Because the camera's trying to adjust for exposure by having the darks, like those shrubs and trees on the left, those are darker. Or this dark car coming towards me on the oncoming traffic. If you can have the darks in a scene visible without dark, if it's too dark, it would be called crushing. The blacks would be completely crushed. There would be no information. It would be just dead black pixels. So there's no, like a leaf or something. You can't see it. It's just dead black. Higher dynamic range enables you to see both super darks and super lights. Now, if you're driving directly into the sun, you're never going to be able to, have the sun perfectly exposed, and you're inside of a tunnel or something. It's dead dark with the sun at the end of it. It's not going to happen. Those are extreme situations. As I drive to the end of Asylum, and I'm going to get on to New London Turnpike as I head back to Norwich town. But the new camera is going to, if it has a bigger sensor, in theory, I mean, it's not theory, it's the laws of physics, will have better dynamic range, the ability to shoot wider in a non-distorting mode. So it could be the best of both worlds. It could be everything you could ask for. I mean, a lot of these cameras have gimmicky things thrown in, AI, artificial intelligence, and this. None of that matters to me. It matters to certain people, certain use cases or whatever. That's fine. I'm glad. See, I just went through a tunnel and it was dead dark in there, so it probably exposed for the tunnel where you could see the beams or whatever was under that bridge. But in the distance, if you rewind this video a little bit, you'll see the distance all blown out white. You could make out no detail. You couldn't see the Gorin sign. You couldn't see the cars. You couldn't see anything. Just white, a complete whiteout. That's dynamic range. So that new, potentially, I mean, let's hope everything comes together. Sometimes new releases are very disappointing. They're just minor incremental changes. But this one's supposed to be kind of a big, kind of a blockbuster. If that's actually the case, that's going to ratchet my videos up a notch. I mean, I'm already doing 4K. It's crystal clear. A lot of people are thinking to themselves, what is this guy talking about? His videos are crystal clear. Believe it or not, the dynamic range in those things will be actually better. And I think you'll notice it, maybe not, but it brings to mind that guy I was talking about earlier, J, the letter J, the word Utah, just like the state. Look this guy up. He has HDR videos on there. Some. I'm not a fan of them, but some people love them. The lights and the darks, and it's almost like being there in real life. It's so hyper real that it's distracting to me. It's overkill. I mean, it's just brutally. The whites are so white and the blacks are so blacks and the grays and all the color. It's just, if you haven't seen you need a really good, say an iPad, a new iPad Pro or something. You got to see it go into an Apple store and fire up J Utah on YouTube, and your eyes will. I've never seen anything like it. You got to see the HDR ones, but J Utah's been around for a while. He does things in many different formats. He does the HDR, but he also does conventional 4K or whatever. It looks more normal. I'm actually going to pull over for a second because I have a guy right on my bumper that is unacceptable. I mean, that is just unacceptable. I'm sorry. J Utah, that's the guy you want to look at. He'll do a drive through, let's say, anywhere in the world, Dubai, I don't know, pick Cairo, New York City. He's got New York City, a bunch of New York City that are like, I don't know, 6 hours long. I mean, they're incredible. Now, he uses ambient sound. J Utah uses ambient sound, no talking. So I don't know what he does if he gets, he must have something up his sleeve. He doesn't really, or I say he, I could be a woman, I don't know. But the audio editing, I've asked questions to J Utah in the past, no answers. There's no information about how they do the audio. I would love to know, because it's ambient and there's never gets a copyright violation that I know of. I mean, the stuff I'm seeing, I don't hear any music. How you do that in New York City, I don't know. But he drives through every major city in the world. He drives on very famous roads in, I don't know, California, all over the world. there's other people out there, but I think, you know, Jay Utah is pretty much the king of that type of work. Let's put it that way. We're approaching the place where this video ends. If I don't know, the light's green, I might not make it. There's not a lot of movement up there. This light is not the longest in the world. Maybe we'll make it. All right, we're making the green light. So I'm gonna, yeah, it's gonna be shutting down here soon. Let me get up to where I started. We're coming up to it, I think, if memory serves me. Ferguson Avenue. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I came out of there. Thanks for coming along for the ride, everybody.